Hi guys, it is Taurus season, so it seems to be very appropriate to use this Earth Magic deck. So we are going to have that assist us in the readings. So before we just jump into your readings, just to let you know that I still have the promotions, speed up promotion, meaning you get one level up. So you sign up for a regular reading, you get a rush reading, you sign up for rush, you get urgent, and you sign up for urgent, you get it before you finish typing. Not kidding, you get it in 24 hours. So just go on cattarot.ca and find basically where I have this special list is listed under book your reading. Now, second thing I have, annual taroscopes are still discounted, and like it's only $10 for one sign or $20 for all of the signs. So you can check your Venus sign, you can check your ascendant, you can check your sun sign. I generally like to lurk on the other people's Mars signs to see kind of like how that's going to work out. And lastly, I'm taking applications for the next round of Tarot School, which is starting May the 15th. The first group is running, and I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, such a kind of lovely group. So I'm just seeing how this evolves. It's not going to be 10 lessons as I initially thought. It will be 11 minimum. And that's it from my announcement. So guys, hopefully also you're going to join my Facebook or Instagram or both, so you can get a daily reading or kind of like a little bit kind of learn about tarot. And I think this is enough for me. So the next is your May taroscopes. And welcome to your May monthly. So we have Whale Breach. Let me get to it. One of my favorite cards in this deck. Then you have Rebirth and Slowing Down. It's kind of interesting because slowing down, of course, is not so much when it reverses, but rebirth is nonetheless. And again, interestingly enough, we do have a lion over here. So this is like one of my favorite philosophers, basically story about basically camel, lion, and child, right? And it's like from the book Das Buch's Zarathustra, right? Friedrich Nietzsche, right? So that basically was talking about levels of delusions and kind of like not stopping at any point. Because look, we have a camel over here. Maybe I should zoom this in so you can see this card better. Look at this pretty camel, right? The camel lives in a delusion thinking that it's a mountain. Hey, look at this mountain peak over here that I carry, and kind of like doesn't really care much about other people's opinions. We are very much going through Taurus transition. That is a fixed sign like yours, and that can be some kind of level of inflexibility, guys, right? But look what is emerging from the camel. Now it's emerging sort of like you, that mighty basically lion, right? So maybe it's a realization, hey, maybe we just kind of got stuck in the rut and we are missing life, because look at this, like, I mean, demanding and coming out really proud and roar, basically letting it out, you know? And it's sort of like roaring our truths. But there is like one more stage here, because in the end, you know, the child is like this emerging, and it's such a kind of balance. Look at this, the lion is roaring and the child is like peaceful, right? Spontaneous, true to basically its own being. So no matter where you are, whether you are sleepy, non-movable, maybe kind of like a little bit down and depressed, or rebellious and want to be jumping out of the situation, but just understand that everything might evolve into something new, in something new beginning, and it's based on something that you have been doing all along, right? I do have to tell you the story that a really good I guess subscriber of mine submitted once to me for me, and it's a beautiful parable, and maybe I should let you see the table. So she's talking about this basically true story of a lion, right? And it is kind of like that self-understanding that you might be surrounded with people around you who are not allowing you. It was sort of like a lion and a sheep who thought he was a sheep, and then another lion basically showed him his way. But this card sort of has elements of that, where you also have to figure out that just because you walk up, it doesn't mean this is the final destination, right? And it's definitely telling you it's not time to slow down. It is in fact the time to start actually putting your feet forward, and then a little by little it's going to start gaining momentum, because it looks like the month is going to end up in a big glorious way. You have this like breach, a whale. I'm freaked out from whales. I just don't know how people can go in the boats and just like be there or even swim with them, because they just like simply scare me. It's like so something huge and incomprehensible for me to kind of like the power. And I can understand how my cat feels when she sleeps next to me. Probably she feels I'm a whale right next to her, squishing her, right? So I get it, right? But look at in this picture, this whale is taking this basically a break from its element. His element is water, and he lives, and for a few moments it kind of like jumps out in the skies, right? Like look at this, like I'm in somersault, and we have seen them kind of like enjoying that kind of, especially when you see that with humpbacks, right, whales that are kind of considered acrobats of their own family, right? And this is like definitely experiencing, like just by looking at it, that feeling of release and joy, right? So maybe, Leo, it is time to take a break, but I would say active break, you know? Kind of like the trip. Do you really want to take a trip? You know, make a point at least to go outside. You know, you have attached yourself to your surroundings. You are becoming chained, enslaved, but you did it to yourself, right? That familiarity kind of like generated maybe sense of security, but it's also not pushing you into this spectacular burst and breach and flow of life, right? It like definitely taking time away from the familiar is like literally what this month is all about, and in a significant way doing something unusual. I don't know, perhaps something you always wanted to experience. Just think about this, like what a joy this is. This is your opportunity to do some kind of intentional, possibly breaching of thought patterns that kind of like might open you to different worlds and to kind of like different perspectives. So let's see what else do we have for you. We have the wheel, big karmic month, Leo, really, really big. And again, it's something that is coming your way that's going to be really going from one thing to another, and in a really, really good way. So you have grace reversed. Something is not gelling, and maybe this is why you have rebirth. which is good. Like, it is realization of something cannot work, because the next phase of this card is death. It's trying to make something work, and if it's not fixable, if it's not doable, it's reaching its natural end. It's like a burning candle. That energy doesn't transfer further, it just burns down, and it's the end of life cycle. And this is like something that you will be coming to some kind of realization. And then you have Sky Tom. You might be spying on someone, you might be spying. This is like really use of social media, or being very bubbly, kind of like really insisting on certain things that you want or need. And maybe this is what you're trying to do. You're trying to kind of get through this kind of like feeling stuck. You're trying to generate something, you're trying to create something that is just like not happening. So going to really look at this. It's almost like a Safi playing with her toy bird. And when I saw this card a few readings back, she just came here running, because, well, 10 of fire. And now you have here 10 of swords, right? See, it's really showing well in this card. You know, it's enough of deliberation. Sometimes you really have to spring in the action. This is again telling you, you might actually end up in a situation where things will just have to happen. It's not going to be, hey Leo, do you really want me to pet your head? No, it's going to be run, roar, kind of keep going. You guys are, this is your element. So it's kind of interesting that you're doing that during this like transition of Taurus. And Taurus is like the sturdy, doesn't move very fast. But also it's kind of really good for you in terms of observing existential things, because it's the element that is below you. So sort of like the view from above for you. And there's the Priestess. In the past, you may have been withdrawn for a while. Maybe you were turning inside and trying to figure out where you are going, and even more so who you really are, how you want to identify yourself. It's kind of really interesting with this like 2 major arcanas over here, because one is fire and one is water. So this is like that everything, right? Kind of like almost like looking in every nook, like going with a fine toothbrush over every single thing that could have gone wrong. But like maybe even with that, it took too long. It's saying it's enough. Sometimes analysis is paralysis, right? What's crowning you is 5 of Earth. Somebody has left you out in the cold. You kind of like felt isolated by somebody or something was not accessible for you, and hence, because you see this card, look at this, it's the Grace. It's kind of like finding a path through things that are really not so pleasant and creating something new, right? When this is when this reverses, it talks about something is wrong, something is off, wrong place, wrong time, wrong partner, wrong situation. So now is that realization, and maybe this is somebody you want to have a talk with, realization that you have been left out in the cold. But then realization is, you know what, I am spending too much time being here and feeling sorry for myself. It is time to start moving forward, right? So let's see. And then there's the Death. I told you this kind of like smelled like that, because I saw this kind of like coming to a head. And this is actually lovely. And this, by the way, could be just you screaming at the pillow and telling that pillow everything you freaking want to say. Because look at the kitty, he's missing the bird, and like you can imagine like all these F words that are going through this kitty's head. So here, something just didn't work, and something is coming to its natural death. In this particular archetype, look at this, trails of 9 lives that are coming over here. And there are always possibility when one door closes, other doors open. There are always those possibilities that we have to look. Mind you, you also might have water signs, Scorpios, or even Cancer in your life, or Sagittarius, it's kind of like a really, really strong influence over here, or of that energy, you know, like very strong, deep emotional energy, which is like not privy to you, and that has reached the end of the cycle. Maybe you have felt like this, and maybe this is why you're getting this card, Breach, because this would make sense. Kind of like feeling defeated, maybe feeling withdrawn. And your fire sign, no way Jose, you gotta go. The feelings, you kind of looks like you actually don't want something. You are probably rejecting something or somebody. It's kind of weird. You have this is a sky tome and this is a kitten. Okay, so this is kind of like more like being forceful in pursuit of the truth, and this is kind of like really not ready. I'm not ready, and I'm not ready. So this is like one of those phases in between these transitions, so we will see where this goes. Let's see the outside influences for you. And here you have 8 of Earth. There is like a matter of possibly money, possibly work, possibly fine details. This is definitely a card that actually really talks about looking for the basics, kind of like really details. Did I file my taxes? Is my resume up to date? Etc, etc. But like it's telling me that this is something on the outside. Something is going to become coming on the outside for you, which could sort of like make you think that you missed something. And it's not a big deal though. Whoa, look at this. The Lovers and Hopes and Fears. The Lovers is not a card about love. The Lovers is a card about choice, and so is the Devil. Devil is more or less card when the choice is forced upon us. Sort of like you get to choose to jump into the shark pond. And that's why it's horrible. And that's why it's codependency, because you do stupid things. Here, you have a choice again, just like what we saw there. Do you want to be a camel? You want to be a lion? You want to be a child? You want to be stubborn, stuck in a rut? You want to be rebellious and go, go, go? Or you actually want to like be born into something completely new, something fresh? The Lovers card is like something really good. We are kind of like having that influx of that joy coming to our life. So where is this going? Oh, I was showing you this card, was jumping out. It couldn't be freaking better. Look at this. In this particular deck, the kitty is looking, I have to show you this lovely card, right? Yeah. Saying, look, one day I will be a lion. Yes. Look at that. So it is the card of that eternal hope. It is the card of knowing that there is like something else we need to reach. Maybe something that feels unachievable. We kind of like need to have these moments of joy, because these moments of joy are really what kind of like makes this life pleasant. Also, you kind of like do have this element of air, even though you might have also Gemini and Aquarius, kind of like, and this is for you higher energy. This was a lower energy. Maybe it almost looks like that, because both water and earth here, that something was pulling you down, and you are feeling this need to kind of like ramp it up. Because you see the Grace card kind of belongs to Sagittarius, and this is on the other side of that axis, right? And this is like Aquarius Leo axis. So it is like both of them are really, really high, intense kind of elements. As you can see over here, that would be your fire, this would be your air. So this is exactly what is happening. You are maturing, Leo. You are not allowing others to put, what was that? Nobody puts kitty in the corner. And you're fed up, and you said, okay, maybe, you know, for a while I had to kind of like hibernate. Maybe I was like slowing down, but turn inward. This is changing. And quite frankly, you're not going to have much choice. Something is going to happen in your life that is going to be go, go, go. But I'll tell you one thing, you're really not going to be fully ready for a relationship, but some opportunities will arise in this period of time. So let's see a few cards over here that I see. So I want to see the Death, of course. What is this Death card here for? My Leos, we have a Friend and haughtiness. This is a bad card when this reverses, so I'm glad that you're putting an end to it. Could have been that you had a friend or somebody really close to, but you see, this is usually somebody controlling, right? Because it is somebody who has to push their will on you when this kind of like card reverses, and they're coming into this disguise. I'm doing that for your good, right? And this is something that you allowing other people to determine what is your good and what is not your good is coming to stop. And that's why you're coming out of your element, because that's what I felt, some kind of like imprisonment in the situation, which probably was self-created, right? Now, what else I want to see over here? I want to see this Eight of Earth was not fully clear. Yeah, waiting and service has come to the same thing, right? So waiting is still somebody is maybe waiting for you to literally service them. It's not going to happen. I think this is why the card reversed. You kind of like are saying that this is the choice you're making. Looks like you're making a decision. You're making this determination. It looks like determination is rejecting someone. Maybe you were even chased away for some kind of reason. And maybe this is why you turn yourself in and have felt a little bit kind of like down, or even down and out and depressed. This is all changing. Look at this. Looking up and cuddling up. This is a really, 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 really good thing. So nobody's putting baby in the corner, guys. And you are waking up to your true purpose, to your true soul. I would love to hear comments from you, Leo. This is actually really good, because it's showing me literally maturing. You're maturing in front of my eyes. So I would love to hear your comments, and of course from cross watchers, because I'm sure they're going to notice that as well. So guys, this is like for May for now. Lenormand is coming later, but I would love to hear your comments, of course, and please subscribe so that way you get invite for my live session. Check my Instagram and Facebook, because you get to learn tarot and you get daily tarot. It's kind of like fun from what I think, and of course my thoughts are so important, right? Yeah, right. And lastly, Cat Tarot School is right now already going with the first group. The next one is starting May the 15th. I would love to see you join, because it will be so much fun when you kind of start to basically harass me on my live sessions. Kat, what about this meaning? What about this meaning? I think it will be really fun. Okay, thank you guys. I can't tell you enough how much I'm grateful that you're like still sticking with me and coming to my readings. It's really greatly appreciated. Okay, all the best. Love you. I don't want to spoil you too much. Okay, bye.